Is James Bond a codename? Part 3. Let's take a look here. So in our last video, I showed you I was setting up what would Bale do in Scrunch as if it's a real brand. And I added a bunch of prompts, not a bunch, 21 prompts, to really start getting a feel for what I'm up against in trying to change the narrative here. I showed you what the competitors were that we identified. I put the prompts in, and now I've got, this says last 12 weeks, but it's the same either way because I just put all this in last week. And this is about what I expected. It's actually a little bit better. Currently, my brand is sitting, the What Would Bale Do brand is sitting at 4% citations for the prompts that we're tracking. I've divided my prompts out into two categories, or two tags, I should say. One is called codename, the other is called adjacent. You may recall that I identified some prompts that are very much about the codename. So if we look at those, it's really just, is James Bond a codename? Oh, shoot. I tagged that one wrong. That one I think is just a typo. Well, I just had to do some quick cleaning up there. Now, anything that is... What am I doing here? Now anything that's in here is codename. And if I add in this filter for adjacent, I got the things that aren't codename but are connected, or that are at least interesting. So I'll show you that when I look at just tags that are, or prompts that are tagged with codename, What Would Bale Do is sitting at 4% visibility. If I switch it to all, it's still at 4%. If I drop codename and just do adjacent, we're down to 3%. And we'll see the top domain cited change a little bit. But I want to look at all of them here. And I'm going to show you what I really want to do. It's not so much look at the top domains, although the top domains are interesting. You'll see here is What Would Bale Do. And I'm going to do two things here. I'm going to export this and do a summary version where it's by domain. What I really care about here is URL. So just to congratulate myself here momentarily, it looks like What Would Bale Do is the third highest cited URL out of all these prompts. Or not, my blog post is the third highest cited URL. My domain, as we've seen, is a little bit lower than that. Let's do a little export here. So now I've got both of these downloaded, one that's domains, one that is specifically URLs. All right, so what am I going to do with this information? It's a good question. I have to decide what to do with this information. But one of the things that I'm seeing here, you know what? Let's jump into the spreadsheet. So here we are. We got Wikipedia sitting pretty up at the top. I'm not going to mess with that. I think that would I love if that Wikipedia article, let's take a look at it. Would I love if this article referenced me and my fan theory? Of course I would. Do I know better than to try? Okay, we got a bibliography and we got a references section. There's so much in here. I'm doing a little search for love it. Love it is not in here. I'm not in here. Now we've got the code number 007 listed here. Code number. We've got the code of conduct down here at the bottom. There's no mention of the code name on this article. I believe it should stay that way, and I'm certainly not about to mess with it for a number of reasons. So, as I think about what I want to do here, I've got this comic book resources article and Wikipedia are the two big things above me. Um, so, how am I going to beat them? How am I going to Do I want to overtake those? Realistically, no. What I need to do is probably diversify. So, realistically, if I want to influence this, change it, which I've stated as my purpose, all of this is very useful, yes. But I think it's more going to be a matter of creating new URLs and getting into the citations that way rather than trying to change these ones that are already existing. Sure, I could reach out to authors of something like Comic Book Resources, Collider, the James Bond dossier. I don't think Britannica or Smithsonian are going to go for the Screen Rant. I can reach out to some of these if I'm really trying to change this, but I think I'm probably better off introducing new URLs, new possible citations. But I'm really not talking about doing that on What Would Bale Do? And most importantly here's something that I haven't even touched on yet. Here's what I really want to change. I don't want it to say no. When I ask, is James Bond a code name? I want it to say maybe or yes. Although, look at that. It's telling me that Wikipedia is part of the enemy here. I shouldn't say that. I don't really mean that. And Wikipedia's not the enemy, but it's pretty clear Wikipedia is not on my side here. So I'm going to have to, not on my side in terms of the codename theory. So if I really want to do something here, I'm going to have to drown out all these negative voices, or at least that's one of the approaches I can take. So can I do it? Let's take another look at what's happening here, because I'm referencing that the challenge here is sentiment, right? Or it's not even really sentiment. This isn't about how What Would Bale Do is viewed as a brand. This is about whether or not the answer is yes, no, or maybe. So if I click into, I'll choose, this is one where I know I'm doing well. I'm climbing to, is James Bond one person or a code name? Now, right now, I've got Perplexity and Gemini both referencing me. The problem here is even when I'm being cited, it's still saying no. And that's what I'm up against here. That officially, James Bond is one person, not a code name. Short answer, James Bond is both a fictional code name. Okay, whatever. Wait, what? Oh. Looks like Perplexity is, I think Perplexity is just saying something that doesn't even really make sense. Here I am being cited, number 4. I got these two that I probably can't do anything about above me. I've got the Wikipedia article that really isn't even relevant, even though it's being cited a lot. We've established that it doesn't talk about the codename theory. Then we got a YouTube video. So while I'm making a YouTube video right now, I think I'm gonna have to make a YouTube video that's just about this theory. So I think that's what you're gonna see next.